For project 8-1, make sure you download the lesson 8 and 9 Excel workbook from Canvas. And we are going to be in this first worksheet, 8-1 Brooks. So this is a music store showing some of their sales, total sales. We're going to be moving around, copying, moving, naming, renaming worksheets in this one. So the first thing, let's go to the Format tab, Format button in the Home tab. Click Format, and we're going to rename the sheet right here. And it highlights this, waits for us to rename it. We're going to rename it Q1 for quarter 1 sales. We can also, so in the Format tab, we can do that. Rename sheet. We can also just right click on it, and that doesn't show you, but third option down is rename. Okay, it's renamed. Now we're going to move it and copy it to add a new one. This is just for quarter 1, January, February, March sales. We're going to add a new worksheet that's got the next quarter's sales. So if we go back up into the Format tab and move or copy sheet, we can also right click on it and get the same item. And we're going to keep it in this document, but we're going to move it to the end of the sheet. So scroll down. It's got all of the sheets here listed. We want to move it to the end and create a copy, which doesn't just move it, it copies it to the end of the list of worksheets. So click OK, and it takes us to the end of the list, or the end of all the worksheets, and puts quarter 1 and 2 in parentheses. So we're going to rename that. So this time just right click, go 3 options down to rename, and rename it quarter 2. Hit enter. Okay, so this is quarter 2 sales. It's no longer January, February, March. It's going to be April, May, June. So let's click here, just activate the cell and type APR, enter. And then click up there again and use the autofill handle to copy over the next 3 months. Or 2, I guess. April, May, June. So now we don't want these totals anymore because they're going to be different, these sales amounts. So let's actually, instead of selecting, here's another way to select, just so you know. Come up here to the name box, and we're going to manually type in the cell name. So it's C, or the references, C6 colon through F, actually nope, not F, sorry, E10. And when I press enter, it's going to highlight that range of cells. So that's another way to get them. If there was 1,000, it would be hard to click and drag and wait for all 1,000 to highlight. And so then we could just type it in up there. So that's one way we might use it. Okay, let's press delete. Not the backspace key, but delete. It's next to backspace, to the right of it, under insert on the keyboard. Press delete. And it gets rid of all of our totals, and we're going to add new totals. So I'm going to get those now. You don't need to do this. It's just me learning, or using my skills that I've learned in the past. There they are right there. So pause the video, and actually let me show you one thing before you pause it and put these totals in. There's a lot of numbers there. There's the dollar signs, there's the commas, but it's already formatted in the accounting format. And so that's the great thing about entering dollar amounts, is all we have to do is type the number in. So if I do 22748 and press enter, it formats the rest. So don't put the dollar sign in, don't put the commas, don't put the .00, just put the numbers in before the zeros, and it will do the rest. So that's nice. So pause this, put those totals in, and after that, make sure all the column widths are the right size. If they're not, if they're a little too short, it gives you the number signs, and that's because it doesn't, if we can't see the whole number, it doesn't want to display any of it. So we don't get the wrong number, so we don't see the wrong number. So if you see any of these, you need to widen the cell, double click on it, or click and drag. And then you can save it, save that workbook.